This video and the Fall TV Takeover are brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.
With all those characters, is it any wonder that some fell by the wayside? Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Once Upon a Time characters the show totally forgot about. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be focusing on those characters that seem to just disappear from the show, or who still occasionally appear but whose individual storylines are suddenly irrelevant. We'll only be including storylines found in the first 6 seasons prior to the soft series reboot in 2017. Due to the nature of the list, there will be spoilers.
You got yourself a deal.
Number 10, Bo Peep.
And tomorrow, when I come back, if there's no payment, you keep the horse, and I take your farm.
This version of Bo Peep is not the innocent young lass from the fairy tale you grew up with. She is a warlord who rules her land with intimidation, and the townspeople are her sheep. She charges heavy land taxes, and brands those who don't pay up with her magic shepherd's crook. Bo Peep was introduced to provide a villain for a young David before he was Prince Charming, and to serve as a common enemy to push David and Anna together. Unfortunately, this twisted Bo Peep was literally a one-off, and only appeared in a single episode.
Guess Mama's gotta get her hands dirty now.
Number 9, Nova, also known as Astrid.
All I ever wanted was to be a fairy godmother. That was my dream, but I can't even pick up fairy dust alone. I'm so clumsy.
Yet another unfortunate one-off, Nova is an aspiring fairy godmother who falls in love with a very special dwarf named Dreamy. Their Storybrooke counterparts live a very similar story, as town drunk Leroy falls for nun Astrid.
You kept messing around with these lights, the whole thing could have blown up on you.
Oh, then I guess that makes you my hero.
Well, nobody's hero, sister.
Back in the Enchanted Forest, the two decide to leave their worlds behind and run away together. However, the Blue Fairy intervenes and convinces Dreamy that their plan will cost Nova her wings. Dreamy decides that Nova's dreams are more important than their love, and returns to the mines a very changed dwarf. Nova played an important part in Dreamy becoming grumpy, but after her debut, she more or less disappears.
What about our life together? Our dream?
Number 8, King George.
Shall we begin?
When his son Prince James dies in battle, King George tracks down the boy's long-lost twin brother David, and threatens him into taking on his brother's identity and marrying Princess Abigail.
If you say anything but yes, you will be responsible for the destruction of everyone and everything in our kingdom.
Instead, David actually marries Snow White, and George never quite gets over it. In the Enchanted Forest, he attempts to use his influence as king to hunt down and kill David. In Storybrooke, he is the shark lawyer Albert Spencer, who uses his cunning to discredit the Charmings. He was a formidable and nearly successful foe, right up until he's locked away and seemingly forgotten about.
I told you. You should have killed me when you had the chance.
Number 7, Dr. Whale, also known as Victor Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, that is a great program.
Whale provided some comic relief and dramatic irony in Season 1 as Mary Margaret's one-night stand. He also provides palpable anticipation throughout the season, because while the show slowly reveals all the Storybrooke characters' true identities, Wales remains a mystery all the way up to Season 2, when he is revealed to be Dr. Victor Frankenstein.
Show me the patient.
While he still appears sporadically throughout the show, most of his story takes place in flashbacks, and his life as Dr. Whale doesn't really get examined any further. His absence probably has to do with the fact that the actor who plays him, David Anders, has been busy dealing brains on iZombie.
Daddy wants to play.
Number 6, Anton the Giant. The last of his kind, Anton was once a friendly giant fascinated by humans, but he grew bitter and vengeful after Prince James slaughtered his family for their magic beans. Finding himself in Storybrooke, and given a magic mushroom to increase his size, Anton plans to destroy the town and kill David, who he believes to be Prince James.
That's right! Run! Run!
After David rescues Anton and restores his faith in humans, Anton reveals his secret beanstalk field. A fun character with a sympathetic backstory, it's a shame this gentle giant doesn't show up more often.
See? I'm not the bad guy.
Number 5, Ursula.
Such a pretty thing.
The Sea Witch arrives in Storybrooke with Cruella de Vil and Maleficent as the Queens of Darkness, a villainous trio bent on taking all the happy endings for themselves. While her story is a complete and satisfying one, it's unfortunately short-lived.
Seems like someone's changed his tune.
Her father, Poseidon, forces her to lure pirates to their death with her voice, but she just wants to sing. Aided by Captain Hook, Poseidon steals her voice, so she takes his trident and turns herself into a sea goddess even more powerful than him. Ursula's fleshed-out backstory and personality make her a very fun character to watch, which is why it's so sad she wasn't given more to do.
It didn't work.
Why the devil not?
Because you're wrong, Hook. Villains can't get their happy endings.
Number 4. Lily Page.
Thanks to you, I'm hardwired for bad decisions.
Maleficent's long-lost daughter has revenge on her mind when she arrives in Storybrooke. After reuniting with her mother, Lily is only concerned with getting back at the Charmings for infusing her with darkness, while Maleficent wants to forget the past and build a future.
Look, I don't know what kind of 12-step program you're in, but I've moved on. I'm fine.
Disappointed in her mother's softened nature, Lily decides to take care of things herself, and she attacks the town in her dragon form, until she is finally convinced to move on. Lily's story is an interesting one, as it casts the Charmings, usually presented as heroes, in a villainous light. Too bad the refreshing change in perspective vanishes with her character.
I thought that you'd be this scary dragon bitch, and we'd go get our revenge, blasting all those who did us wrong.
Number 3. Cinderella.
What did you do?
No. I got what I wanted.
Just before Cinderella's fairy godmother grants her deepest wish, Rumpelstiltskin appears and kills her, but offers to grant the wish anyway. Unfortunately, all magic comes with a price, and Cinderella unknowingly promises the Dark One her firstborn child, a promise that also applies to her real-world counterpart, Ashley.
My baby. It's coming.
With an intriguing setup to a storyline that wraps up in a particularly magical fashion, it seems that Cinderella's new plot in Season 7 means we'll never get to see the first iteration again.
Oh, no, I'm not a princess at all. I'm just an ordinary girl playing dress-up for a night.
Number 2. The Mad Hatter, also known as Jefferson. This fan favorite was crucial to the initial story arc. When Emma denies the uncanny similarities between the townspeople and the fairy tale characters in Henry's book, Jefferson is the one who makes her believe, as he still remembers life before the curse, especially the daughter he was separated from.
You're insane.
Because I speak the truth.
Jefferson eventually ends up back with his daughter, but much to the fans' disappointment, their lives in Storybrooke are never explored. This probably has something to do with the fact that Jefferson traded in his magic hat for a metal arm, because actor Sebastian Stan is now playing the Deadly Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
My name's Will Scarlet. I used to be a merry man until me and Robin Hood had a bit of a falling out.
There is still one wish remaining. I wish to be with you forever.
Look, would you mind lending me a hand? And preferably your good one.
Number 1. Mulan. Perhaps the most neglected of the forgotten characters, Mulan never quite got her own story, and was instead saddled with the sole purpose of serving other people's plot lines. She is introduced in the show's sophomore season, along with Princess Aurora, for whom she harbors some unfortunately unrequited feelings.
But with all due respect, Your Highness, Philip's best chance is me.
Mulan proves to be a badass in her own right, and has the potential to be one of the series' strongest characters. But most of her appearances in the show either relegate her to playing second fiddle or are glorified cameos. Time will tell if this fierce warrior will be given her time to shine in the future.
Welcome.
This video and the Fall TV Takeover are brought to you by PayPal, the simple and safe way to spend, send, and receive money. Download the app today.